Online, WSGW.com.
A partly cloudy morning to some of you, mostly sunny for others, and some spots there's a few clouds around as well. One of those smorgasbord type days, but for the most part, if you've got sun on your back porch, enjoy it. 32 degrees at the airport, 32 here at Radio Center. Downtown Midland is looking at 34. Downtown Bay City is currently at 32. We do have a southwest breeze that has been gusting to right around 30 miles per hour. So, yeah, we do have a wind chill. Currently 19 degrees. Barometer falling off just a little bit, 30.07. We do have a low pressure system right around Lake Superior. That low is going to be working its magic here a little bit later on this afternoon. A real weak cold front is going to be drifting through. Not really all that cold behind it. Matter of fact, tonight we're going to drop down to about 24 degrees, which is pretty close to what's average for this time of the year. And last night we really didn't drop down all that much. We were still in the mid-20s for most of us. So, as I said, the cold front isn't really going to do much as far as the temperatures go, but it is going to spread a few snow flurries around, especially later on this afternoon and into the evening hours before midnight. What are we looking at? Well, we're going to be looking at clouds moving in as we go through the day. That chance of some flurries as we approach sunset and then up until about midnight. 38 is our projected high. And as I said, 24 is going to be our low tonight, because of a high pressure system that's going to clear things out situated over Minnesota. Now, there's another low pressure system. This one is going to be over Colorado tonight. We're going to keep our eye on that, because what it will do tomorrow as we go through the day is that low will be pushing some clouds our way. And then once again, a chance of some snow showers, snow flurry activity later on in the day tomorrow. Tomorrow's high won't be quite as warm as today. We'll be looking at a high of right around 35, but a low of about 23. You know, that's average. We're right around 33 in the afternoon and 22 at night. That's where we should be this time of the year. We also should have a little bit more snow on the ground than what we do right now. Last year, about 38% of the continental United States did have some form of snow cover. This year, it's about 29, and that is going to be decreasing as we go into and closer to the Christmas holiday. Precipitation probability is going to increase as we get into the second half of the work week. And over the Christmas weekend, we're going to see a little bit more in the way of precipitation. But right now, it appears as though the pathway of a couple of those low pressure systems is going to take a little bit more of a northerly course. So as a result, our temperatures are going to be warming up by the time we move into the second half of the work week and into the weekend. Specifically Friday, we're going to be looking at temperatures about 47, 48 degrees. And then Christmas Day, about 45. Then we'll drop down just a little bit on the day after Christmas, 37, 38 degrees. We're going to be looking at some precipitation, as we said, over the next few days. The best chance of measurable amount of precipitation, though, is going to be on Christmas Eve. So couple that with a projected high temperature of about 47, 48 right now. It looks as though Christmas Eve is going to be a wet one. It'll be a rainy one, if anything. And we're really not expecting any slippery roads on Christmas Eve, because after a high of about 47, 48 degrees on Friday, Christmas Eve, we're only going to drop down to about 42 for a low. Then Christmas Day, 45 for a high. And then Christmas Day night will drop down into the middle 20s. Over the weekend, yeah, we did have a little bit of snow shower, snow flurry activity. Some of you still have white lawns this morning. Others of you, very little trace of snowfall. About 1 to 3 inches of snow is what we saw around the Great Lakes Bay region over the weekend. You move a little bit further to the east, specifically the New England states, there were a number of locations that reported anywhere from 8 to as much as 12 inches of snow there. What's going to be happening this week as far as the weather goes? Well, in particular, the climate. We are going to be looking at the winter solstice. That will be tomorrow morning, about 10:30, quarter to 11. So that should be the shortest day of the year. Sun will set this evening at 5:02, rise tomorrow morning at 8:06. Unfortunately, we never really had a good chance to see the full moon that happened over the weekend with all of the cloud cover around. And even last night, it was trying to show through, but that haze just didn't really give you the full effect of the full moon, which is usually quite brilliant this time of the year. Incidentally, the record snowfall on this day is in the Great Lakes Bay region is 7.2 inches of snow. And that was set back in 1951. Yesterday, you got to go all the way back to 1929 to see that we picked up just under 15 inches of snow on the 19th of December. So far this year, we've got about 6.5 inches of snow during the snow season. A year ago, we were only looking at, quite honestly, about not even half of that snow on the ground. So not that it was on the ground all at one time, but we did cumulative wise this year register about 6.5 inches down in the Flint area, almost 10.5 inches of snow. Sun will set this evening at 5:02, rise tomorrow morning at 8:06. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Cody Harris will be joining us in just a moment from Star of the West to tell us what the markets are doing. But before we do that, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential is Titan XC. Titan XC is a fertilizer biocatalyst that unlocks and releases the bound up nutrients in granular fertilizer, promoting better root uptake and plant growth. Drive performance this season and beyond. Release more nutrition. Expect better results with Titan XC. For more information, visit lpi.ag/unlock or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Hilleshog Seeds. They exceed the Michigan Sugar Seed approval criteria and leave nothing unmet. Unlike some companies that fall short of criteria and need special approval, promising high yield but lack other key traits, Hilleshog brings a balance for Michigan's tough conditions that will always pack a load of sugar in every beet. Hilleshog, the heartbeat of sweet. Cody Harris, good morning. How are you this morning?
We're doing well this morning, Terry. How about yourself?
Hey, not too bad. I hope the markets are doing as well.
Well, with the end of year, quarter, and month kind of happening over these next couple of weeks here, it looks like the market may be trying to position itself for that going into the new year. We got a little bit of a mixed bag today, nothing too crazy with the markets here. As we look at everything right now, we got cash wheat. That's actually up 1 here this morning, Terry. 736 on the white, 701 on the red. New crop wheat is down 2, 763 on the white, 703 on the red. Looking over at corn, cash corn is down 3 at 535. New crop corn is down 3 as well at 488. Looking over at soybeans, cash soybeans are up 5 at 1225, and new crop soybeans are up 1 at 1183.
Nice little patch of green there.
Yeah, we got, like I said, a nice little patch of green, and it definitely seems like that soybean market, it seems the last couple of days it's definitely been the bright spot of the market, and today, kind of like what we've seen all last week, it's definitely being drove by the soy meal market. Meal right now this morning is at the highest level since early July. That's definitely pulling soybeans up with it here this morning, or that's at least the main factor. Another factor that's driving this market is that we on Friday saw a new sale of about 4.8 million bushels of U.S. soybeans announced. It was sold to China, so China coming back in the market, it's definitely giving this soy market a little boost. And then in addition to that, even we kind of look at corn and soybeans, we're definitely focusing on weather in South America. Kind of looking at that extended forecast, we're definitely looking at a 2-week stretch of really hot and dry forecast for both southern Brazil and Argentina. And everyone thinks it may threaten maybe a little bit of production down there as far as it goes for the corn and soybeans, as corn's pollinating and soy itself are just in a real, I would say, kind of, soybeans right now are in kind of a real important time right now for the development down there, and this hot weather is definitely not beneficial as we kind of move forward. So that's giving the soybean market a boost here, Terry. And then looking over at wheat, we're kind of looking internationally as well for wheat market. Russia's looking to impose its export tax. We're going to push it up to $94 a metric ton, which is higher than they were expecting to move it up. And then in addition to that, they're going to reduce their exports to 8 million metric tons compared to the 9 million metric tons previously. That's kind of in an effort to contain some food inflation in Russia, and that's kind of maybe giving the wheat market a little bit of boost this morning. But overall, it seems the market's kind of quiet, kind of going into the new year, trying to set itself up to have a fresh start.
All righty. Cody, you take care. We'll talk to you in a couple days, okay?
Sounds good. Thank you.
You bet. A little bit more as far as what the markets are doing. Doug Klein from Oppenheimer joining me. The Market Report brought to you by the folks at Schaefer and Beerline, the Great Lakes Bay Area's certified ag dealer. You can make a new Ram commercial truck or van a part of your everyday use for family, farm, and business today when you pick one up right now at Schaefer and Beerline since 1852, where family and service sells cars. Market Report also brought to you by the folks at Thumb Bank, serving the needs of farmers for well over 125 years. 2 locations in Bay City, also Cassidy, Caseville, Pigeon, and Bad Axe. Thumb Bank, where relationships are built on trust. Doug, what's going on?
Well, it's not exactly Black Monday, but it's a little bit dicey out there. Crude oil down $4.46 today. There's a little bit of negativity around this Build Back Better thingamajiggy going on there. So that's kind of got jitters going on. Plus the coronavirus, whatever variant we're into, that's kind of made us a little jittery. Moderna says they're in good shape to handle the next variant, 4th one or 5th one, whatever. And so they were up this morning, but now they're trading down. Yeah, so that's kind of the gist of it. The gold, silver, platinum market not really reacting in a positive way, which usually it is a flight to safety, so to speak. It's not happening. The only the only money moving up is natural gas, and that's just kind of a bounce from a bottom. So, well, here's your numbers. The March corn is $5.90 1/4, down 3 cents. December 22 corn is $5.43 3/4, down 2 3/4. The January soybeans, $12.90, up 4 3/4. March soybeans, $7.76. That's just $12.92 3/4, up 4 1/4. The March wheat is $7.76, up a penny, and then December 22 wheat is $7.71 3/4, down 2 3/4. Crude oil, $66.19, down $4.53. I still got some Kroger points to use up for the end of this month, so I'll wait until that hits the pumps.
Better get them done.
Yeah, we only got 2 weeks left.
There you go.
Hold it right to the bitter end. Heating oil is $2.10.69. That's down 11 cents. Gasoline $2.02.62, down 9.5 cents. Natural gas $3.68.80. That's up 15.5 cents. Canadian dollar, U.S. dollar gets you $1.29.51 at the border. That's kind of interesting, up 65 ticks. The yen is at 113.41, down 26 ticks. The euro's at 112.90, up 51 ticks. The dollar's at 96.41, that's down 15 ticks. Gold is at $17.94.60, down $9.20. Silver's at $22.27, that's down 25.5 cents. Platinum's at $9.19.20. That's down $15.30.
You have a good day, Doug.
Thanks. You too.
Talk to you later. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. We'll be right back in a moment.
Max Armstrong here. It's time to start thinking about next year's crop, including fertilizer. This year, the cost and even the availability of nitrogen is on most farmers' minds. Pivot Bio created a new nitrogen, predictable in both performance and price, so farmers can be more confident.
Pivot BioProven 40, the nitrogen that stays put, weather or not. To learn more, contact Sean at Ag Armor Seeds. Call 1-866-BIG-YIELD.
Experience the most reliable RTK signal from PC Ag Solutions, compatible with most GPS receivers. Trade in your old radio or modem and get an affordable subscription through us. We have over 25 base station locations across the Lower Peninsula, and we're always looking to add more to our network. Discover more power, more accuracy, and more coverage with our 450 megahertz signal. Call us to learn more today. PC Ag Solutions, 989-868-4444. If you've got to supply the food for an event coming up, not a problem. 989-894-5531 is the telephone number for Kryjak's House Family Restaurant. Tell them what you want. They'll have it ready for you. And all you got to do is stop by and pick it up. Kryjak's House, a great place to dine in as well. Corner of Cass in Michigan on Bay City's south side. We say good morning to Eric Sawatsky with Yo and Yo Accounting as we try to shore up a few things here before the end of the year. Eric, got any tips for today?
I do, Terry. A couple items that changed a little bit last year in 2020 due to some relief that was given in COVID bills. And now things are kind of back to the old tax law. So these are things that are popping up when I'm doing year-end planning right now. One is the required minimum distributions. If you're what was before 70 and a half, now it's actually 72, and you have an IRA account, you would actually have to take out a minimum distribution each year based on the value of your account at the beginning of the year. That was waived for 2020, and a lot of people did not take those distributions. So if you haven't already and you have an IRA account and you're at least 72, you're going to want to make sure that's done before year end. Otherwise, the IRS will hit you with some penalties, which obviously we want to avoid. And that's part of tax planning as well, because many times in the past, when people take their minimum distributions, they have taxes withheld. And obviously that'll impact what is paid in and what needs to be paid. So if you haven't done that yet, that's something I would definitely take a look at before year end. The other one is the healthcare premium tax credit. That's been around. That was part of the Affordable Health Care Act passed a decade ago. And every year, many people go out on the exchange and get their health coverage through the government exchange. And depending on the income levels that they are at, maybe getting some kind of subsidy from the government to help pay those premiums. Now, each year you're supposed to go in and update your estimated income from the year, and that impacts how much that subsidy is from the government. That's even more difficult for self-employed individuals. If obviously business income fluctuates during the year, it's important to get that updated. Last year, for 2020, there was no penalty if you earned too much. You had more income than you had estimated with the IRS. So if you got a larger subsidy than you were supposed to, you were not required to pay that back. Now we're back in the old rules for 2021. So for this year, if you made more income than you had estimated when filling out your information for those subsidies, this year we could be in for a big surprise. I'm seeing some that owe thousands of dollars this year probably because they are now required to make up that subsidy. They had a really good year and hadn't updated that estimate with the IRS. So definitely a surprise you don't want to have come March or April. So if you can take care of that now, and while there's still time to make some tax payments by January 15th, I would do so.
Good idea. Eric, you take care. Have a great day, okay?
You too, Terry.
All right. Eric Sawatsky with Yo and Yo Accounting. We'll be right back.
Whether your family farm has been passed down through generations or you're just getting started, knowledge and partnership fuel constant growth along the way. As the legacy of your farm strengthens, shared values and a never-ending commitment remain. ECH Seeds is proud to work with you to sustain your continued growth. This partnership, driven by a shared passion that never stops growing, is refined over time and cultivated in common ground.
This is Peter Maxwell, your ACH Seeds representative. Our 2022 lineup is better than ever. Crystal Beet seed varieties offer a full spectrum of defensive traits combined with top-performing yield and sugar potential. And speaking of defense, ask me about the new CR Plus trait offered in select crystal varieties. Not only does this offer the potential for less spraying, but it also protects yield while doing so. I look forward to hearing from you and working toward continued success. Thanks again for partnering with ACH Seeds.
ACH Seeds. Good things come from common ground.
Jerry Samalski joining me right now. Jerry, good morning.
Good morning, Terry.
What should we be looking at right now, Jerry?
Terry, last week we talked about the rodents and the voles chewing up plants, but now those pretty large rodents called deer are ones we want to be careful of. If you're in a deer pressure area, it seems like last year they really stepped it up, and they ate a lot more things that they normally wouldn't. I had deer eating pine trees, Terry. So, you know, the arborvitae or cedars, I mean, is caviar for them. They come after them. So if you've got something tender you're concerned about, a physical barrier is really the best thing. So something with either some sort of webbing or netting, snow fence works. Of course, you can wrap them in burlap or put up a couple posts and put burlap around them. Anything to do, but a physical barrier is probably best. And the deer I think we're going to have another good year of feeding the deer at the nursery here.
I think so. Jerry, you take care. Have a great day, okay?
Yes, sir, Terry.
You bet. Folks at the Corn Growers want to remind you the Great Lakes Crop Summit, that's coming up January 26th and 27th. So mark it down on your calendar at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Back at 12:30 with an update. Now we conclude our program with the playing of our national anthem.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Rocket Mortgage.
I'm Peter King in Orlando. West Virginia Democratic Senator Joe Manchin says he won't vote for the president's social agenda bill. We now know more about why. White House correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
The Democratic senator who has bucked Build Back Better says White House aides pushed him over the edge.
I just got to the wit's end, and they know the real reason what happened.
On statewide radio over the West Virginia Metro News Network, Joe Manchin signaled Biden staffers have since retaliated against him, putting out a statement that all but accused Manchin of negotiating in bad faith. Manchin maintains he was for months clear on what it would take to earn his vote.
They couldn't take away all the social reforms that they've had pent up for years.
Stephen Portnoy, CBS News, the White House.
Doctors are warning that the Omicron variant will keep spreading unless more people get fully vaccinated, and that includes booster shots. Dr. Michael Osterholm heads the University of Minnesota's infectious disease programs.
We are going to see a major challenge ahead of us in the days and through this month and into January and February. Omicron represents a viral blizzard.
The defense has just started its closing argument at the Kimberly Potter trial. Prosecutor Aaron Eldridge, former Minnesota officers, claimed that she fired her gun thinking it was her taser.
An ordinary and prudent person would not have drawn a weapon, held it for more than 5 to 6 seconds, aimed it, and pulled the trigger, all without recognizing or confirming what was in their hand.
Potter is charged with first and second degree manslaughter for the shooting death of Dante Wright. Christian Aid Ministry says its 12 missionaries who were held hostage weren't released, but rather made a